Are you ready for an adventure that will have you talking for years? Devil's Canyon near Superior, Arizona is an off-road adventure you won't soon forget, but you might not want to repeat it. Imagine you're on top of these high desert ridges with views from 4,000 feet plus. It'll transport you back to what it was like centuries ago. The road, it's a thrilling challenge. It's covered in rocks of all sizes, sometimes boulders. It's really going to work your suspension. I don't care if you're in a side-by-side like we were or some other vehicle. It's going to bounce you around. Now, these scenic desert ridge tops, they're not just breathtaking views, but they help guide you through this road. I think that might be an exaggeration. A trail? Well, that could be pushing it too. A path of rocks, washouts, overgrown vegetation, whether you're going up a desert climb or a descent. Now, OnX had a review from 2015, and that guy mentioned that these mountainous dirt roads hadn't been worked on since 2010, and it had deteriorated significantly in those 5 years. Now, a decade later, watch this video and see nature's handiwork. You can see how the trail has evolved over time.
All right, we're at the staging area. That was a very bouncy road to get all these vehicles up here with a trailer and machines on the back, but we made it in four-wheel drive. Two-wheel wasn't going to hack it. This is Devil's Canyon. 60 is just right down there. And look at all these machines. There's Ed's villain. Larry's villain's back there. That's Dean's Honda. And Harry and his wife Mary. That's his Can-Am.
It was predicted to be 95 degrees today for the high at this altitude, 4,000 feet. Down in the valley, it's going to hit 100. That's why we got up early. It's 8:45. We're on the trail. Oh my, am I even awake? You can see my Super ATV flip windshield is wide open, and it will stay that way all day. It makes it so much nicer in here with that airflow. But when we're going slow, and believe me, on this rocky road, we are going to be going slow. My MSC dual overhead fans are amazing. They just blow that hot air right out and keep me as comfortable as possible. I don't have air conditioning, but it's the next best thing. Our friend Pete is not an off-road guy, but he has finally agreed to come for a ride with us because recently he purchased a drone. And this is very cool. We're going to have aerial shots today, which is going to give you kind of the overview of what we're driving around in. And from what I'm seeing with editing, it's some pretty cool shots. We don't have in today's video from the air is anything to show you just how tough this road is. In fact, as I'm editing, I got to say the road looks pretty smooth. I should be flying through here. But as my body remembers from the ride, it is not smooth. And I'm pretty sure I have some video I captured with the GoPro or the other cameras that will show you it is not that smooth. Well, once we all made it through the gate, and Dean closed it, of course, it was time to take off. Any opportunity where the road is smooth, it was time to step on the gas. And then, of course, not far after that, it was time to hit the brakes and go slow. I don't think I've ever traveled this many miles at 3 to 5, luckily sometimes 10 miles an hour. It was definitely a lot of fun, although it's always painful to go slow. I feel very lucky to have Pete along today to shoot the aerial stuff with the drone. I have been toying with buying one of these for a while and wondering what it'd be like to operate while trying to drive. Well, I don't think it's possible. Sure, there's auto features, but Pete was on those little joysticks almost the entire ride today. In a bouncy machine. Wow, Pete. As we continued further into Devil's Canyon, really enjoying the views. Man, it's just amazing. The climbs got steeper. We went from 18 degrees to 22 to 28. I think we were just over 30 at some point. The rocks went from small rocks to bigger rocks and even bigger rocks. You could see the erosion was pretty bad in spots. A bit of a challenge. You really had to pay attention not to the scenery, but where the tires were going. Otherwise, you were very likely to break something. And can you imagine? you broke an axle, a wheel is lying on the ground. How are you going to get this thing out of here? That is going to be painful and or expensive. In the meantime, be careful, have fun. As we near the top of this climb, Pete lets me know that I need to find a spot to pull over so he can bring the drone in and change out the battery.
Pete's bringing it in for a landing. There's the landing platform.
Now here's a view of the part of that same climb that we just watched, but this time it's Pete with his drone showing us what it looks like from up high. Now when he zooms in, you can see we're moving very slow. It's steep, it's rocky and bouncy. The tires are going nuts. Every now and then a tire leaves the ground, one or more. It's a pretty exciting little climb. Pete was really focused on getting us some good aerial shots throughout the ride all the way up until lunch. He just kept going through batteries. And this really does give you an idea of how I'm always talking about how beautiful the scenery is. Well, now you get to see it for yourself. I just love it out here. You know what would make this ride perfect is some smoother sections so I could go fast occasionally. This is how Pete not only launches the drone from his hand, there's also the landing zone right back in his hand. Amazing. Now keep in mind, this is a road you go in on and then you turn around and you come right back out. So while going down something may have been super easy, even though it was really steep, well, on the way back we got to go up it and vice versa. I mean, this is quite a fun road. The only downside for me is it's just endless rocks. I really want some speed, and there isn't any. I'm not sure how Pete managed not to get motion sickness. He was constantly staring at that screen and manipulating two teeny little controls to maintain control of where the drone went and what it was doing. Wow. So this is the last of the really rocky stretch before we start straight down into a valley below, and the drone makes this trail ahead look like we should just be buzzing along at full speed. But I got to tell you, there was a lot of bouncing going on. Not like back there on the bigger rocks, but still, you just cannot fly through here. Now, a couple different times we have seen cows, just a few of them, mostly lying around. They weren't even working. You know, they're supposed to be eating and gaining weight. Here, it looks like we've got some green pasture. Well, that water is from Mineral Creek, and I didn't really see water flowing, but I did see a puddle here and there. I know Harry said he saw a video last night of people driving through a creek with lots of water. Well, I don't know what year that was. Maybe that was 10 years ago. I don't know, but certainly not today. It's very dry out here. Now, here's what a section of that same trail you just saw from the drone. This is what it looks like down at my level. You can see the grass out there that I was talking about for a cow pasture. And the colors are so much richer. I'm not sure if it's different settings on the camera in the drone or if it's just a different angle with the lighting. Something to be looked into in the future. I know I've said several times in this video that I really wanted to go fast. Well, I want to make sure you understand the rocks were absolutely fun. They were a challenge. They did make me go slower than I'm happy with for way too long. But look at this. Would you call that a trail? I'm not sure what to call that. A big drainage with lots of rocks. It was a challenge, really trying hard not to break or do any more scraping than necessary. But it did put a smile on everybody's face. But eventually, we did get tired of rocks. I think this is one of the first spots where Pete wasn't focused on the drone and the screen and actually looked up in time to see the endless rocky hill climb that just got steeper and steeper towards the top. I asked Harry to take the lead because that man loves rocks. And since he loves rocks, he has the habit of going slow and carefully through them, which meant it would be a much safer ride for all of us, whereas I might decide to go a little too fast. Plus, this lets you see the articulation, some of the slipping and sliding, just to get some idea of what's going on here. I know you can't tell how steep the grade is, and I don't remember this exact spot, but I'm going to say it's probably near 28 degrees at max. It's just about how rough and how slippery, not so much about how steep. But it is fun. You just don't want to do it all day long, though. At least I don't. Did you see that? Harry's front tires came off the ground, and I think about the same time the rear end did a nice little slide to the driver's side. I think Harry's having an exceptional amount of fun up there. It's about 11:30 and it's time for lunch. So we found a wide spot, pulled off. We have a view. There's no shade trees around here. Pete sent a drone up, mapped out a route for it to fly around while we were eating lunch. During lunch, we talked about should we continue on or should we turn around and head back? Because I think we're basically about halfway to our turnaround point. We all decided with this many rocks and with the heat that was coming, we may as well turn around and get back to the parking. I'm going to pick some clips and put them on here so you get a general idea of the return trip. But hey, you saw it on the way in, but every trip is different in either direction. Well, that's it for this recording. Use the comment section below if you want to share your experience at this location or maybe recommend an area that you really enjoy. Please keep it clean. Want this to be a family-oriented channel, so review what you type before you submit it. Thanks. I apologize if you happen to hear something during the ride's recording that may not sound family-oriented. I will try very hard not to let certain words slip out during an exciting moment. We'll see how that works. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed it, please hit the like button below. Share the link with your friends. Be sure to subscribe so you can easily keep up with my latest videos, which will continue to cover things like Segway villain owners' area of interest, reviews of accessories, where to ride, tips about the villain, how-to videos, and lots more. Yep, there's going to be more. Thanks for watching.
All right, what's your name, what you driving, and what was the best part of the ride?
Hey, my name's Dean. I drive a Talon, and I don't know, the best part of the day was like the roads with the fewer rocks. Those the toughest trails I've ever driven today, rock-wise.
We had a trail with no rocks. When did that happen?
It was pretty rare.
What's your name, what you driving, and what was your favorite part of the ride today?
My name's Harry. I'm driving a Can-Am XRC. Favorite part of the ride was the rocks.
That was all day.
I love the rock climbing. good, hard, challenging trails. I like that.
All right, nice. Who are you?
I'm Mary and I'm with Harry, and it was a fantastic ride, absolutely beautiful.
Was lunch your favorite part? That was my favorite part.
All of it.
You like the rocks too?
Oh, I love the big, tall rocks, you know.
What about in the trail?
Well, they were bumpy.
Questions today.
What's your questions?
Who are you? What are you driving? And what was your favorite part of the day?
Well, my name's Larry, like it was last time. Still driving my Villain. It's a monster, even in the rocks. A little different terrain this time than what we're used to, but it's still handled well. It was a fun
All right.
ride.
Who are you? What you up to?
I'm Pete.
That's very informative, Pete. Why in the world were you even here today?
To get out and go side by side for the first time ever.
And I think you brought a toy.
Yes, I flew the Mini 4 Pro, a little mini drone that was zipping around.
So when you see this video, if there's any aerial shots, he did it.
All by freehand too.
And yeah, well, it was a little bouncy because of the rock. So what was your favorite part of the ride today?
I don't know, there's a couple things. I mean, I enjoyed flying the drone around and trying to get used to being jostled around and using the joysticks at the same time and trying to stay level. But also
putting the drone away and actually enjoying the ride, I thought was pretty fun too. So.
It looked different on the way back when you weren't flying, huh?
It definitely looked a little different.
All right. Oh, hopefully you'll come out again.